Hello, hello. So, I wanted to come on and discuss this grand cardinal cross that is extremely significant. It is October the 16th. Currently 9:12 p.m. We have the sun in Libra at 23 degrees. We have the moon in Aries at 2 degrees. We have Mars in Cancer at 22 degrees. And we have Pluto in station direct in Capricorn at 29 degrees. And another mention that I just wanted to add on is Chiron also at 21 degrees Aries. So I am a cardinal cross in my birth chart, my natal chart. On a Placidus system, I am a 12th first house Capricorn. I am a Capricorn ascendant. However, I'm a late degree Capricorn ascendant. My ascendant starts at 24 degrees Capricorn. Mars is conjunct my ascendant. I am a moon in Cancer, 22 degrees, and the moon conjuncts my descendant. And so I have the 6th and 7th house transition in Cancer. I am a Aries North Node, and my 3rd house slightly transitions to my 4th house in Aries, and I am in 9th house Libra. So my Mercury is at 22 degrees Libra in the 9th house, and it transitions a little bit toward the 10th house. However, I also have my sun in Libra in the 8th house. So I'm familiar with this cardinal energy. It's very potent energy. Cardinal energy is about initiating and starting new things. Cardinal energy is about the spark that starts a new season. And what's significant currently is that the sun is shining a light on our relationships and how we are currently relating. The moon and how are we acting on our relationships and just relating in general. Because Libra isn't just contingent upon human relationship. Libras actually are how we relate to anything outside of ourselves. The moon in Aries, currently in Aries, is how we are reacting to our independence and to our self-expression, emotional independence, because it's the moon we have here. Now, the moon doesn't do too well in Aries. The moon is debilitated in Scorpio. However, the moon is, because the moon's natural place is with Cancer, the moon actually is squaring in Aries. The moon likes to nurture. And in Aries, the moon can't properly nurture others because the moon is fixated on its own way of seeing things. And the moon, which is a watery planet, Aries is a very hot, fiery sign. So that makes it difficult for the moon. The moon has a tough time in the sign of Aries. Another tough spot that we have Mars in Cancer. So we know that the moon rules Cancer. So we have a mutual reception here. And Mars is the original ruler of Aries. So with Mars being debilitated in Cancer, it just creates fiery communications with the moon in Aries and Mars in Cancer. This is some volatile energy that's going on right now with this full moon. Please be careful. So with Mars in Cancer, we have Mars coming into the gentle sign of Cancer. Cancer is the sign of home, family, nurturing, foundations. And Mars is the planet of intent, willpower, aggression. So these two are certainly not in the great place, in the best position. Mars isn't positioned well. Mars falls in Cancer. And then we have Pluto, who just went direct in Capricorn at 29 degrees. Pluto has been hanging out in Capricorn forever. Forever, Pluto has been hanging out in the sign of Capricorn. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I can't wait until Pluto gets into Aquarius and remains in Aquarius. When Pluto was at that 1 degree Aquarius for those few months, it was such a relief for me because number one, I'm an air sun, I'm an air Mercury. My South Node is in air energy, and so I'm very, the Pluto and air energy is a lot lighter for me, being that I have a Cancer moon. So with Pluto and Capricorn, it's super heavy. So I'm so excited to see Pluto transit up out of Capricorn and never to come back into the sign of Capricorn for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Okay. So I'm excited about that. So what Pluto brings in the sign of Capricorn to add more fuel to the fire is the transition and the transmutation of how we view authority, how we view power, control issues. So when we add up and we factor in the sun in Libra, the moon in Aries, Mars in Cancer, and we have Pluto in Capricorn, what we have here is new beginnings and how to see things in a new way when it comes to our relationships, ourselves, family, home, and how we comfort ourselves and how we nurture ourselves and others, and authority and gaining authority over that and transforming to the point where we have the authority over these areas of life. And the powerful thing about the cardinal signs are that the cardinal signs are naturally transmuters. Like out of all the signs, cardinal energy is constantly transmuting on a day-to-day basis. Because when things get stagnant with the cardinal signs, the cardinals are going to initiate a new way. So with Libra, it's going to be initiating new ways of relating and relationships. This is why Libras are relationship junkies. A Libra would jump out of a relationship Tuesday and be crying Wednesday and be in love again that following Monday. This is just the design of a Libra. With Aries, so Libras are always initiating new ways to relate, relationships. And with Aries are constantly initiating new ways to see things and feel things, because Aries is a hot, fiery sign that enjoys experiencing life based on its own terms. So Aries is constantly transmuting out of old ways of seeing things to keep that fire going with the self. So Aries prefers to look at circumstances from its own point of view on how it sees it, not how you see it. So that's why Aries are constantly transmuting. And with Cancer is constantly transmuting emotions. So Cancer is the emotional sign. The moon nurtures self and others through the sign of Cancer. And this is why Cancers are really moody at home, especially Cancer moon signs. They're very protective of their home. They're very protective of their children. And they're constantly transmuting ideas and things that go on that don't value the home. You know, Cancer will take care of everyone that it cares about and nurture everyone. That's how Cancer rolls. And with Capricorn, Capricorn is the goal. And with the sign of Capricorn, it is once we step into our authority. And then we can begin to initiate ways of climbing whatever mountain we decide to climb. And I like to go in linear fashion such as this, because the first house rules Aries. So once we understand the way we see things and how we understand things individually, that's the first step with the cardinals. And then we go to the next step, which will be Cancer. This is where we are nurtured, cared for, where we care for ourselves, others. And then we go to the next level with the cardinal signs, and this is Libra. So once we take ourselves and how we see things, and once we're nurtured and we are properly cared for emotionally and we have our emotions together, in the sign of Libra, we're able to take ourselves out and initiate new relationships and relating just outside of ourselves. The signs Aries through Virgo is largely about the self. Once we get to Libra, we can step outside of the self and begin to relate the self to others. So we get this experience, we get these experiences, and we're going out into the world and relating one-on-one with others in the sign of Libra. and we're transmuting old relationships and we're jumping into new relationships. And the final cardinal initiation is the initiation of a global position as your own authority in whatever arena it is that may be. A lot of times we look at this as our public reputation, our career, because a lot of people find most of their authority within their career. So this is the sign of Capricorn. That's why most Capricorns are very ambitious, whether it be the sun, the moon, Mars. Capricorn is an ambitious sign. So with this full moon in Aries that will be taking place tomorrow, right now the moon is at about 96% full. So we have about another day or so. Tomorrow night the moon should be at 100%. And this cardinal energy, this will be the last. And then I was going to mention Chiron, but I'm just going to leave Chiron. I'll briefly mention how with Chiron and Aries and the North Node currently in Aries, the thing that makes this full moon most significant is because Pluto is leaving Aquarius. The North Node will be going into Pisces, and Pluto won't be back into Aquarius until hundreds and hundreds of years. So the transformation that was taken while Pluto was in Capricorn over this past cycle that's going to be it for the authority. So whatever anyone has been doing, transforming. This is a generational thing. A lot of the cardinal energy is also, especially with Libra and Capricorn, has a lot to do with generational curses, breaking generational curses. This is why a lot of families were able to break outside of a lot of generational issues while Pluto was in Capricorn. Even through the internet, how basically relationships have been revolutionized primarily this past decade with the influx of the internet and social media. So this is just some nerdy stuff. To bring it practically in your life, wherever you have your cardinal signs at, rather that's the first house, that'd be your personal self. If you have, Aries, if you're lucky enough to be an Aries ascendant, you're in alignment. You'll be dealing with starting new things personally, starting new enterprises, new ventures, expressing yourself personally. The second house, it'll be your values. You'll be initiating new values. The third house, it'll be your local environment, initiating just small talk, communications amongst your local environment. Your fourth house, this will be a complicated space, so you'll probably be arguing a lot with family during this full moon transit. You just have to accept it. Fourth house Aries is an explosive placement. It's not an easy placement. And you have to learn. That's a square. The squares, you're learning. These experiences that the squares brings are learning experiences until you learn your own energy and how to operate. The fifth house, it'll be self-expression. This should be fine. Whoever has Aries fifth house with the full moon transiting your fifth house, this is a trine. Fifth house is the original house of Leo, so that should be fun. You shouldn't be having too many issues with Aries on the fifth house. So self-expression, going out, having fun. Just having a good time. The sixth house, this moon will be impacting your work. Be careful with having arguments at work, your bosses undermining you, because the sixth house is actually the house of slavery and hierarchies and stuff like that. So if you're Aries sixth house, you the boss, just about. You've climbed up out of any lower position that you've had in any career. You have seventh house is the opposition house. It'll be with your relationships. So you will be learning how to balance out yourself and others. I think that this is a positive placement. Although it's an opposition, it can create balance. So Aries in the seventh house, this should be really positive, especially with the moon there. Because the moon in that house, this could be good or bad. It depends on how you manage to deal with your anger. You should be working out with this placement. If you have seventh house Aries, working out will help with your relationships. Eighth house, this will be based on your desires, your motivations, other people's motivations. This will be I think this will be a pretty good placement. The moon will be revealing a lot of your secrets and stuff, so watch out for that. with not being around certain people when you have the moon transiting your 8th house, especially in Aries, while Mars is debilitated, because a lot of your secrets can come to light. Things that you wanted to keep to yourself can come to light. So watch who you're hanging around. Ninth house, your belief systems. Will be another fun experience because this is another trine house. And it's the original house of Sagittarius, which is a very lighthearted, fun sign. So this should be a pretty fun time where you can work on your belief systems. You could probably end up debating about your beliefs or something like that with the moon transit in your ninth house. Or you can either be, if you're into religion or things like that, you can be doing some leadership work or be asked to step up to be a leader at your church or whatever you do for your spirituality. The 10th house, your career. Now, this would be a badass placement. Aries in the 10th house. My daughter has this placement. This is a boss. This is a boss position. So the moon in the 10th house, Aries, although it's a square, you're going to have to learn how to temper down your aggression over time. And you're going to have to learn that with the 10th house Aries, but you're going to be bossing up. A great leader at work. A lot of people look up to you with Aries 10th house. You lead a lot of people already with this placement. And so this could bring some blessings and curses. With blessings, you can have opportunities for advancement, especially with Pluto and Capricorn. You can have opportunities for advancement with this placement. You could start a new business with this placement and gain traction. And it could be very successful in initiating a new business, initiating a new public. If you're on, say you're on social media, doing something to initiate your public standing. So rather that be change some photos or change your logo or something like that, you could garner a lot of attention this way and support with Aries 10th house. 11th house, this is the house of friends, networks. So going out, meeting new people, or whatever your network is already. I don't know, like arranging a fun get together or something like that. That would be really cool for this full moon. Your hopes and wishes with this full moon. You could have things come to light that you were hoping for that are beneficial for you. And the 12th house. In the 12th house, this can be a bit more challenging because the 12th house is so deeply subconscious, and depending on where you are in your environment, you can be engaging with individuals who you could be possibly aggressive with, and it's on a subconscious level. You can be irking people subconsciously. You don't know what's going on because it's the moon and the nature of the moon and nature, and then the nature of Aries versus Pisces. The original 12th house rules Pisces. So 12th house Aries, y'all need to be working out. This would probably be a good day for Aries to go mountain climbing. 12th house, just doing something off to yourself, isolating yourself by doing something rigorous exercise, things like that. Or going to volunteer and be a leader while you're volunteering and things of that nature. So yeah, that covers the cardinal signs with this full moon. I just went through all the houses. So, and I covered Aries with the houses. I didn't cover, because the full moon is in Aries, I didn't cover Libra. I may come back and cover Libra because I think that's significant too. But I really wanted to cover the full moon in Aries because of this Pluto square, and we know, and this Mars square. So if you're not on task with whatever house you have that sign in, if you're not on task with the house handling the business of the moon, be prepared to have some irritations, because with Pluto and Mars being debilitated in Cancer, people, if you're not on task to do something, to function in where you're supposed to be doing, that's an explosive energy. That's like a atomic bomb, a square between Mars and Pluto. And if this isn't happening externally from your environment, even if you choose to say, I'm not gonna go out around anyone, this will be happening internally with your emotions. Pluto is deeply subconscious. So you'll be feeling like, dang, why am I feeling depressed? And this could even get to feeling suicidal. Like Pluto and Mars are a trope. When they go into squares and oppositions, that's, to me, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like those are the most potentially dangerous issues that an individual can have. Granted, we have the sun in Libra, which Libra is a graceful sign. It's the moon in Aries, so it's like the moon is, but the moon can get overly emotional. And with the moon being, with Mars being in Cancer, it's just best to be on task with whatever house you have Aries in. Tend to that house. Make sure that you focused on cultivating that house, and you should be fine. And then wherever Mars is, and what so have you. So that's it. This video is 20 minutes long. I hope that you found some value in this information. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.